guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about variable. And before we continue, I'd like to give a talk on what variables are before we move on to the writing of a variable. Variable is the words that can use to store information. Think of a variable like, for example, remember your junior class, your lower class, you have something like maybe x equals to 1, for example. That x stands as a variable. Think of a variable as a word that you can use to store an information. So think of it, for example, now you have a shoe and a shoe container where you store your shoe. For example, your shoe to wear to church or for your office or any other place. You have a bag where you store it, and then the name of the bag, the name you give to the bag is my shoe or shoe. So inside it you find your shoe, for example. So that name, shoe, is a variable, and it has information inside it. Or the name of the bag is shoe, so that information on it shoe. So let me create. Let's, if you're still finding it hard, when we do example, we're going to understand it more. So let me create a new Python file. Let me call it main. Let me call it main the py. Why the, I think I've covered that in my previous video, so make sure to check it out. In the video is called my file extension. What file extensions are? The py is the file extension for Python. So make sure to check it out. If you don't know why ended with the py, this signifies that it's a Python file. So let's begin with the simplest, like the example I gave using shoe. Let's say you have a bag, and that bag you named it a shoe. So let's call shoe. Now put an that bag, what is stored is your sneakers. Sneakers, for example. Cannot write down. Sneakers. So this is a variable. This is a value. This value is what is inside your bag. Like, it can be anything. So remember that, don't forget that this is a variable, is what holds an information. And this, and sneakers, you can see that it's an English word, so it has to be represented as a string. So you need to have double quote on it. So if you are finding it hard, well, I've covered a string one of my video, but just know that a string are more like a test. For example, like your name. Your name is a test. Like, for example, Peter Emmanuel. Those are type of tests that are called string. And we have number. I think we have covered this in one of my previous videos. So please make sure to check it out so you don't get confusing. You can confuse it with numbers and the string. So these sneakers is what you have. For example, let me make another variable, call it number. Let's say number 1. I give it a value called 1. This number 1 is a variable, and this one is a value. So, and this variable, you can name your variable anything as far as it's not a Python keywords. So, and Python keywords are those specified words that Python uses to run its program. So you can make them a variable. So be careful when you make when you are naming your variable. And I've covered Python keywords in my video. Please don't forget to check it out, so you understand, you know what Python keywords and how they are used and why you can use them as a variable. So the variable can hold a lot of information. It can hold a variable, just holds a data types. That's just the basic understanding. Just a variable holds data type, and data type, which I've covered in my previous video. Data type, for example, have string, which is string. I have numbers, or you can call it numerical data types. This is a number, this is a string. I have another one. Let me make a variable yes equals to true. This is a boolean, I've made mention of all these things in my previous video. Please don't forget to check it out. The video, the link will be in the description below. So talking about these variables just holds informations, and the informations can be any data type of your choice, and you can print it out using the print statement. You can say print yes to display it on the screen. Into the proper version. As you can see here, true, which I call these variables. I call this variable here, and then it printed out the value. So that's what mainly what variables. And for example, let's say in a situation where your variable you want to be specific. For example, let me comment this. I think we have done a video on print statement, so please don't forget to check it out. I've also done a comment, so let me comment it. Let's say, for example, we have many shoes, for example, or let me give an instance. Yeah, we have many bars that contain shoe. I know the first example we used was shoe, and they gave it sneakers, for example. Let's say you have another bar that contain another shoe. So what I agree, you can say this is, let's say, first shoe, for example, and then second one you can say is second shoe, for example. I can say say Jordan. I hope I spelled that right. Okay, so in this way, for the variables, is you write a variable in this format is good. You don't have any problem with it. But for somebody that is reading your code, for example, to you, you might think that it doesn't have a problem. But somebody that is reading your code, it might be a little bit of let's say it to be congested. It won't be happening too much. So that's where you make use of underscore. Use underscore to separate the word. We like this, use underscore to separate the words. You don't have a problem. Python understands it. I think many programming languages find it like tend to understand it too. So for it to don't mistake it with this dash on top. Don't mistake it. Remember, it's underscore. If you are to type it, it's going to give you an error. As you can see here, there was syntax. You cannot turn expression here. Maybe you are trying to mean equals to. So, but with underscore, you don't have any problem with it. This underscore just helps us to join words together. So that one of a way you can use variables. So why do we even use variable in the first place? Like I mentioned earlier, variable just is used. Number one, first thing is to use to hold words, to hold things for us, to hold values for us. That's the first thing, and those values are categorized in specific data types. So another thing is to make your code more entertaining. For example, I can decide to say print. Can decide to put it here and then run it. I'll still get at the same output. So this where we want to still make use of this first shoe, for example. So rather than us writing sneakers over and over, we just call the first shoe. I'll just call the first. Let's call the first shoe, and then we'll get the same thing. So variable just make things easier for us. As of now, you might find it of much no use as of now, but when we start building some tasks, maybe building some games and building some basic apps, you see that it does begin to appreciate the work of variable. So in the recap of this, we learned how to declare variable, what variables are, and what they store. I also talked about advantages of variables. So I think with this you have at least a brief knowledge of what variables are. You're still finding it hard to understand. Don't worry. As we go on in our videos, in our future videos, we'll make use of it more. Then you get used to it. Because the main thing is just for you to get used to it. It's not hard. So don't think it's hard. Just have to give it time to keep on going this video. I'm going to get to understand variable more. So with this, I think I've lay a little bit emphasis on what variables are. I also think this should be the end of this video. So if you find it useful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and you can like it. And also you can share with your colleagues who might find this video helpful and needful. Please don't forget to subscribe. It won't cost you money. So see you in the next video. Thank you.